everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Matt's Minutes. Today's going to be a special episode because I really enjoyed this topic, and I feel like it's one that a lot of people don't really know, and that is, what do the different colors of lightsabers mean? So, do you have a minute to talk about lightsaber colors? Hello friends, and welcome to the episode. So today we're going to be talking about, like I said, what the different colors of lightsabers mean. In order to do that, we have to talk about what gives a lightsaber its color, and that is these kyber crystals. At least in current Star Wars canon, these crystals, the way that they get their color, they come out colorless, and then what a Jedi or Sith has to do is kind of form a relationship and pour their emotions into the crystal, and based off their emotions and connection to the crystal gets its colors, and then it goes into the center of the lightsaber hilt. So today we're going to be talking about, based off the color of your crystal, what exactly does that mean? Well, let's get into it. Now, given that yesterday was Independence Day, we're going to be starting with blue and red. First off, we're going to do blue. So, a blue saber indicates a Jedi that is basically combat oriented, and they rely mostly on their lightsaber skills in order to defuse situations. And they're not generally going to use their force powers as much. They still will, but instead of focusing all their time on the Force, they're focusing most of their energy on lightsaber dueling, if that makes sense. Generally speaking, a wielder with a blue blade is known as a Jedi Consular. Next up is red. So a red saber generally indicates a, Sith Lord. Because what they do is they pour all their pain and anger into the crystal, and the crystal actually starts to bleed or cry, and then it becomes red. In the case of Kylo Ren, the kyber crystal actually cracks due to how much pain and anger he throws in there, which I call a load of crap on. If anyone could have broken their crystal, it would have been Vader. But also interesting thing, Vader's crystal was his original Jedi crystal that he just poured all of his pain into, and it took him a couple of tries. I think it took him like 2 or 3 before he finally was able to turn it red. So, interesting thing, kyber crystals can change colors, and I believe it's even possible to take a red one and turn it blue or green or whatever. So, anyway, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's possible. Next up on our list, we have my personal favorite, green. Green is the color of Jedi that mostly get involved with politics or believe that politics are what's going to solve the issue in the Jedi Order. They also, generally speaking, focus more on their Force abilities than they do their blade-to-blade combat skills. Generally, they all pretty much use a form called Niman, or Niman, depending on your pronunciation, which is integrating their Force powers into their lightsaber sequences, and they basically are they have basic understanding of lightsaber skills, but Niman allows them to use their Force abilities more so in their combat than, other styles generally allow. Not saying you can't if you know the other styles, but it's just easier with Niman because that's basically what it's used for. Alright, I don't actually have the saber for this next color, but that's okay, just roll with it. The next one is yellow, which is seen by Rey in the Rise of Skywalker, I think and it's really not, it's mentioned a couple times in Clone Wars, but generally yellow is one that is between the blue saber, which is the whatever I've put up here, and green is known as a Jedi Guardian. These are the merger of the two. They believe that the Force is not going to solve all of their problems, so they, generally speaking, rely on both politics and saber-to-saber combat, which is cool. And they also guard the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, which is even more cool. The reason we don't see that many is because they tend to be spies or infiltrators, and so really they try to avoid using their sabers if at all possible. And I think a lot of times the makers of Star Wars just forget about them, but you know, whatever. Next up, we have purple. Purple is, you know, we don't really see it all that much. Mace Windu was the first one that we see in current canon that used it, mostly because Samuel L. Jackson asked for it, which is pretty cool. But generally speaking, purple is one who can, they're a light sider that uses the dark side without being influenced by it. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically what they do is they channel the dark side around them, not through them, while they're fighting. So they can draw on the dark side, kind of, but not necessarily without letting it actually get in their system. So it's really kind of hard to explain. I'm doing the best I can here, but not many are able to do it, and many that wield purple sabers end up falling to the dark side at some point. Anyway, so there you go. There's purple. Alright, the next is black. Black is, or known as the Darksaber. The Darksaber is very important to Mandalorian culture because Mandalore the Great was the very first one to wield the Darksaber, and I believe he was a Jedi, if I remember correctly. And then it became whoever had the Darksaber was the head of Mandalore. So there's been a lot of fighting over the Darksaber over the years. Darth Maul even had it at one point in time and was the head of Mandalore. You see Ahsoka Tano asking about it in The Mandalorian, as well as a couple other people, and I think Den ends up with it in the last episode, which is pretty cool. But generally the Darksaber is reserved. There's only one known, and it's for the head of Mandalore. And the last one that we're gonna mention is at least based off current Disney canon, is the White Sabers. The most notable person that I can think of that wields these is Ahsoka Tano. These are, according to Dave Filoni, the guy that, you know, made Clone Wars and Mandalorian and all this other stuff, the White Sabers are distinctly to show that Ahsoka Tano is not part of the Jedi or the Sith. Generally speaking, in old Star Wars canon, this might be considered a gray Jedi, but we haven't really heard that term thrown around as much in current Disney canon. So I hesitate calling her a gray Jedi, and is more so she's not associated with the Jedi or the Sith. But that's what they mean. And those are all the sabers that we have in current canon. So thank you guys so much for checking this out today. I really hope you liked it. This was really cool for me to do. So let me know what you think. What is your favorite color of lightsaber? Leave it in the comment section down below. Like I said earlier, mine is green. So I think that's the more the route that I would go down in the Jedi order. But let me know, what saber would you pick or what would your Kyber crystal be if you picked it up? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you haven't already, subscribed. If you like this video, please give it a like, and I will see you guys in a couple weeks. May the Force be with you.